Everybody, what is going on, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be working on Tahiti, the Tahoe again. If you saw my previous video where I found that little note in the truck, the previous owners named it Tahiti, so might as well call it that. Before that though, I'm going to give you a little update on the Camaro because I do have it apart right now. I'm changing the snout bearings, and then I'm going to be pulling the passenger rear axle out so I get the seal fixed up. But once all that's done, you'll probably be seeing more of this car as long as it's not too crazy icy out or we don't get any snow or anything. So I pulled the snout off the other day because, as I mentioned, I was getting this rattling noise after revving the motor up and the idle came back down. It was kind of a little bit of like a chatter coming from the snout area. It started happening once it got cold outside. Plus, the belt was pretty gross looking. It had that green Gates belt on there. LSX Concepts recommends using a Continental Elite belt, which is pretty much like a gator back belt. So I picked one of those up and I'm going to swap that in. But I got the snout off. I already replaced the bearings, so this thing's good to go. There really wasn't any play in them. The most I can hear when I would like spin it, there was a little bit of bearing noise. And this thing spun relatively easily without much resistance. Obviously now with the new bearings, it is a little bit tighter. I'm not sure if that was the issue or not, but you can see the old bearings here. Pretty straightforward to replace them. I'm gonna put a link to the video that I used to change them. I have a little cheapy Harbor Freight like 12-ton press, and it made easy work of this job. I also picked up another isolator from Amazon. This one is from LSX Innovations. The one I had on there was replaced. It was a ZZP unit, but I noticed for some reason when I pulled it off, it was sitting on the shaft there relatively loose. Like I could kind of twist it back and forth a little bit when I was on there. That actually may have been what was causing the rattle. So just to be safe, I had to put the new bearings in, putting this back together. I figured I'll put a new isolator on there. It may just got worn out just because of the worn out bearings. All right, so this thing's been sitting for a few days. It's about 38 degrees out right now. Let's give it a little cold start because in today's video, I am going to be changing the transmission fluid as well as the filter, pan gasket, and they got the 3 transmission cooler lines. So I'll get all of them swapped out. Also, while I was at it, I went and picked up this color match paint. It's supposed to be the exact color as the dashboard. So eventually I'm probably going to pull it and spray the whole thing, or just kind of mask off the windshield and spray it in car. But I think for now, once I actually get to the detailed stuff, I'm just going to come here with like a little touch-up brush and just touch up the little black spots up there. All right, so here's all the parts I'm going to be using. I got the 2 long cooler hoses as well as the little auxiliary crossover hose. This one goes from the bottom of the radiator transmission cooler over to the auxiliary one right inside the grill back there. And then these 2 long ones actually go from the transmission to the cooler here in the front, and from the transmission to the top of the radiator. But I also went and got some synthetic fluid. I picked up 4 quarts as well as 1 quart of Lucas stop slip. I figured I'll throw that in there just as a little preventative measure, being it does have a lot of miles on it. And for the filter, I have a genuine AC Delco gasket and filter. I definitely recommend getting the AC Delco one because most of the kits like you get from AutoZone, they come with that really crappy like flimsy rubber gasket, and as soon as you tighten the bolts, the whole gasket just kind of peels up out from around the pan. You end up with a huge leak. The GM one is kind of like this rubbery paper kind of gasket. It's a lot thicker and a lot stronger, so when you tighten the bolt, it's not going to squeeze out around the pan and cause a leak. You also get the same problem for the kits that come with the caulk gaskets, so I would definitely recommend picking this up. I'm going to have a link to this in the description, as well as the Lucas stop leak. I'm not going to put the hoses in there just because a lot of these trucks are different. If you don't have the auxiliary cooler, it's going to be different. So the only way to get the exact lines or part numbers that you're going to need for your truck is just to go down to a dealer, give them your VIN, and then they'll give you the part numbers. And I definitely recommend doing the same thing with the filter because depending on what year your truck is, some of them have a shallow pan, some have a deep pan. I'm not sure what actually decides on the pan you actually get. I want to say it has something to do if you get the tow package or not. You're going to get the deeper pan to cool the trans a little bit better. I'm not 100% sure on that. So definitely go to the dealer, give them your VIN to make sure you get all the correct parts. All right, so I haven't even started on the Tahoe yet, but I did get the Camaro back together. Everything was ready to go, so I just cleaned off the old RTV, got everything back together, got the new belt on. I set the tension. I still have to start it up and let it run for the belt to kind of wear in a little bit. and then I got to recheck the tension. Just want to make sure that RTV is dry before I start it up. All right guys, so it's the next day. I'm recording on the new GoPro. I still didn't get around to doing the transmission on Tahiti yet, but I got the Camaro all finished up. The snout's back on. I'm just letting it run now, making sure everything's all right. I also went and got the axle finished last night, so that's why I didn't get to start on the Tahoe yet. I pulled the axle out very easily. I just kind of sliced the locking collar and the bearing, and I just air hammered the thing off. Literally, I got the bearing off in like 5 minutes. Pressed the new bearing on, new seal, new lock collar, just slipped the axle in, and changed the fluid in the diff, because I didn't do it yet after the 500-mile like break-in period. So pretty much the Camaro's all good to go now. I'm just gonna let it warm up, make sure there's no weird noises, make sure the rattle is gone, and once that's all good to go, I'm gonna pull the Camaro out. We're gonna get the Tahoe in the bottom of the driveway, get it up on ramps, and we're gonna start working on this thing. Just finished zipping all the bolts out. Pan's loose. Now I just got to pry over the bracket for the shifter cable, because that does kind of hang over the pan. One thing to know when you're pulling this out, the way the valve body hangs down, there are a few solenoids in the back that hang a little low. So when you're taking this out, you want to try to keep it as level as possible, and just try to dip it down towards the back as you're removing it, because you do not want to snag one of those solenoids. Alright, so I'm past the shifter cable. Now, you see what I mean? Just kind of keep it level. So kind of tip the front up towards the bell housing, just so we could clear those solenoids back there. And you can see it comes out pretty much without a fuss. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second here. You see the solenoids I was talking about back here where these two electrical connectors are. So just be careful when you're pulling this thing off. Try to keep it as level as possible. You can see in the pan, the fluid is pretty dirty. It's, you know, pinkish brown. There is some stuff on the magnet. No giant chunks, so nothing looks too weird. I mean, it definitely looks like this thing, at least I hope this thing hasn't been removed, because if you got that much crap in only a couple of thousand miles since it was last serviced, I would be kind of worried. But most likely they probably just did a drain and fill and they didn't even open this up, and this is probably like close to 200,000 miles of wear on this magnet right here. All right, so I got our pan all cleaned up. I got the new gasket sitting in place. I would definitely recommend using some kind of RTV just in a couple of spots to keep this in place. That's what I'm going to do, because when you're trying to get this thing up there, especially trying to pry the bracket over with the transmission cable, it's going to get very annoying with this gasket just kind of flopping all around and possibly getting damaged. So I'm just going to put a little bit of RTV, just gray, like GM RTV, in just a couple of random spots, just to kind of help keep this in place, so hopefully it doesn't move around too much while I'm trying to get it in. And as we're installing the new filter, keep in mind there is this little bushing stuck up inside the transmission, so just pay attention when you pull your old filter out. Make sure that this doesn't come out with it, because if it does, you're going to have to install the new one. I never replace these. I just leave them up in there. This is just the seal that sits in the transmission that keeps the filter locked in place and prevents fluid from leaking out around it. Most of the time, I'd never seen one of these go bad, so I just leave them in there. To me, it's not worth the hassle trying to pry that thing out. So just make sure that the existing one is still up in there when you go to put the filter in. So I got the panel installed, got the bolts all tightened down. Torque for this, when you're tightening it, you want to kind of go in a crisscross pattern all the way around the pan. So just say you start with this corner, do corner, corner, and then this corner, then there, and then just kind of, you know, go across from each other, but make your way around the pan, pretty much like with any kind of pan gasket you were doing. But as for torque, I just put them all in loose, and then I just zipped them down with a little Milwaukee ratchet. That thing doesn't put down too much torque, so I just zipped them all down with that. It's not an impact or anything, so it's not going to really damage the gasket or squash it. But just for the hell of it, I'm going to go in here with this torque wrench. I just have a 1/4 inch. I have it set to 110 inch-pounds, a little more than 9 foot-pounds, which is what the factory recommends for the torque on this thing. So I'm just going to go around here and make sure they're at least at that 9 foot-pounds. And once they're all good, we're going to go up top. I'm going to fill the thing up. I decided I'm just going to go pick up some cheap like AutoZone fluid, fill it up, let it run for a little bit. Then I'm just going to pull the plug and drain it one more time just to make sure I get any last like crap out of there. Just make the fluid a lot cleaner than if I just filled it up and ran it the way it was. All right, guys, so I think I'm going to end this one here. The weather's kind of changing. It's getting colder out. I hope it doesn't start snowing, so I want to get the Camaro back in the garage now that I have it up and running. We got the transmission pan dropped, got the new filter in there, new gasket. So a lot of work was done on this thing today. I just got to go to AutoZone and get some cheap fluid just so I can flush it out. But next video, we're going to finish this up. I'm going to pull the grill off. We're going to get the lines off the auxiliary cooler inside of the grill there, the bottle of Lucas, and by then I should have the title for the truck, so we will take it for a test drive. One more thing I wanted to point out while I'm down here, I actually went and ordered fog lights because it's weird. This truck's missing the fog lights. I don't know if somebody took them off when they went to the junkyard or the auction place, because the connectors are in here. But I went on eBay, I picked up a $40 set of just factory replacement fog lights. I'm gonna pop them in. We'll get that looking good. So I think we made some good progress on Tahiti today. Still, we have a lot to do as far as like cleaning and the whole mess of an interior. But mechanically, from the shakedown last time, it looks like that's all it's gonna need is the transmission lines. I mean, the rest of the truck looks absolutely flawless mechanically. I still have to get under there and check the front diff fluid as well as the transfer case fluid, but we'll be taking care of that in the next video once we go and pull the front skid plate to change those cooler lines. And of course, if you don't follow me on Instagram, link is going to be in the description as always. I'm always posting random little sneak peek videos before the actual videos come out on YouTube. I posted a little clip when I got the snout bearings back together on the Camaro. Pretty much the same clip you just saw on this video, except it was released weeks before this one actually hit YouTube. So if you want the down low of future videos that are going to be coming out and what I'm actually doing to the cars before it hits YouTube, definitely go check me out on there. But for now, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.